Welcome back to the archives. As your guide into the dark corners of the Shadow Cabinet, today we're skipping the usual well-trodden histories. Instead, we're staring straight into the abyss at a true architect of negation, the grim Gnash of Ghast. So lower the lights, settle in, and brace yourselves because the lore we're unpacking in this explainer is as heavy and honestly as cold as mountain frost. Let's get right into it. First, you really have to picture his physical form, because it's absolutely chilling. The Grim Nash isn't just some beast. He's literally classified as a what of the old growth. Imagine this massive, towering form, the color of ash and old bone, gaunt and twisted. His fur, it isn't soft, it's needle-like. It deliberately traps the mountain mist, so he's constantly shrouded in this permanent, freezing fog. And his voice, oh, his voice. It's described as sounding like shifting shale, a visceral, grinding sound. Trust me, you want to heed the whispered warnings of his rusted footprints because they only signal one thing: coming desolation. But what actually drives a creature like this? Well, it's his philosophical foundation. The Grim Gnash is the living, breathing embodiment of active nihilism. He doesn't just passively sit around in the dark, he actively wants to uncreate the world. His whole goal is to reveal that all the grand noise we make, our societies, our monuments, our cultures, is just a flimsy mask hiding the absolute silence of the void. He's here to deliver what the archives call the great no to the stagnant herd. And how exactly does he deliver that great no? Through something called the honest sound. It's a heavy thud that quite literally swallows light. You know those holy men and miracle workers who try so hard to make a grand noise in the world? Well, the Nash drops this creeping dread right on them to prove that the universe is actually just heavy, death, and completely finished. It's a sound designed to drag the human spirit straight down into the dirt. Section 2, The Inverted Hero's Journey, Descent from Ghast. Let's trace his path. His pilgrimage is basically a dark mockery of our usual myths. It starts with this Nietzschean-inspired prologue, where the Gnash spends 10 whole years in complete, freezing solitude up in the high cold of the crags of Ghast. He lives on the pulpit of the perished stars, which is this jagged shard of obsidian piercing the sky way above Mount Crumpet. But he doesn't stay up there, he descends. He specifically targets the Garden of Hubris, this seven-chambered abbey where the elite hide out, thinking they've bought their way out of decay with curated luxury. And when he arrives, he exhales the first sigh, whispering the cold secret of insignificance into the very molecules of the room. Moving on to Section 3, Tactics of Negation, Hollowing the Feast. Let's look at exactly how he operates once he's among us. So how does he actually work his dark magic? Well, regular folklore monsters steal your physical stuff, your gold, your food. But the Grinish, he steals the meaning. There's this incredible story in the archives, the parable of the full belly and the empty soul. It goes like this. Step 1, the elite prepare this massive, decadent, great roast beast. Step 2, the Grimnash simply touches it. And step 3 is the horrifying part. He doesn't take the food. He performs a hollowing. The meaning is entirely stripped away, and this glorious feast turns into mere matter that tastes like absolutely nothing. He basically forces the great fast onto people who thought they could just bury the void under a mountain of food and indulgence. Which brings us to the sigh of the gilded grain. Quote, seeking a why is like seeking a heartbeat in a stone. Wow, right? The point he's making here is brutal. He sees human purpose as nothing more than a brightly colored scarf wrapped around the throat of a universe that, well, doesn't even have a throat. Section 4, The Dominion of Endings, Nash versus the Reaper. We really need to see how he fits into the broader cosmic architecture. To grasp the true grand scale of negation here, we have to put the Grimgnash side by side with his dark counterpart in the cabinet, the Shadow Reaper. Look at the difference in how they harvest. The Reaper works the field of vanity using the logic of zero, basically death. It's a physical extraction. He swings the scythe, he takes your physical life. But the Grimgnash, he operates on a way more devastating level. He enforces the Great Fast through active nihilism. So instead of taking your body, he performs a metaphysical devastation. He strips away the why. He leaves you alive, but he takes the meaning out of the life you have left. He is the internal architect, uncreating the masks we use to hide from the rot. Together, these two entities literally map the final descent of the human soul. They bring about what's known as the Red Chapter. It's this terminal state where the world's prologue ends and all of human achievement just sets in a pool of gore. By shattering our stupor of agreement, the Nash clears the path for the great evening, the absolute definitive end of the story of human vanity. Finally, Section 5, the metaphysical chill, the ultimate test. Believe it or not, there's actually one strangely necessary function he serves before the end. So why does all this matter for us? Well, the Grim Ganesh is basically designed as an antibody to creative existence. He acts as the absolute test of eternal recurrence. What that means is he promises to return and test absolutely every single brick of anything new you create. Think of him as the universe's strict price of admission. If you build something, he is going to breathe his freezing fog all over it to check your self-mastery. He demands that what you make is a genuine triumph of will, not just some comfortable habit you fell into. And if your old idols happen to shatter under his gaze, he's just going to offer this dark laughter, confirming that they totally deserve to be smashed. Which leaves us with a pretty heavy question for you to ponder. Take a look around at your own unearned sanctuaries, your own little gardens of hubris. If the grim gash came down from the crags of Ghast today and tested your life's work, would it stand strong as a genuine triumph of will? Or would it just crumble into ash like mere habit, totally crushed under the weight of his honest thud? Let that heavy thud sit with you as you go about your day. Thanks for joining me for this explainer of the archives. Until next time, keep a close eye out for rusted footprints.